מה שלומכם? אנחנו כאן עם אורחת מיוחדת ומקסימה, הישר מקליפורניה, ג'ני זלצר איתנו. אנחנו נחכה ככה לראות שאתם עולים איתנו על הקו. I'm just having a short preview in Hebrew with your permission, just to let them know that we're starting a very intriguing and interesting interview tonight, and people can just a minute. People can ask us questions and interact with us while we're on the air, while we're live. So people are already connecting. I'm going to ask a short question just in Hebrew to see that they hear us and see us, okay? ערב טוב חברים, מה שלומכם? אנחנו נשמח לשמוע שאתם רואים אותנו, שומעים אותנו, והכל תקין. Thank you for bringing us. Oh, Debbie Ashton is writing, thank you for bringing us Janie Seltzer. Thank you so much. We're happy to have you. It's going to be a great interview tonight. So straight from California, let me introduce you the woman. She is beautiful on the outside as she is on the inside from what I've got to know her, and she's actually fascinating. Janie Seltzer, good evening. How are you?
I'm great, Sharon. Thank you so much for having me on tonight.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm really happy to have you here tonight.
Uh-oh, I can't hear you, Sharon. I don't hear you. Can't hear you. Can't hear. Sharon? Maybe you got muted somehow.
Janie, can you hear me right now?
I can hear you. Good.
Yeah, I was, when we go live, sometimes things like that happen. So we need to be right on track. So now everything is okay and we can continue.
Good.
So after we started, let's do it one more time.
Okay, very good.
More people are joining us. I'm happy that you can hear us again. Please let us know that you can hear us and everything is okay. And we are continuing. Okay, great. So we're here tonight with Janie Seltzer, which is straight from California. And we're going to talk about the legacy of Zig Ziglar. I know that Janie is actually a spiritual director in Zig Ziglar's community, and she's doing an amazing work with so many people around the world. And we're here to talk about the legacy of Ziegler, about Janie Seltzer and what she does. She does so many things to help so many people. And we're going to talk about success. We're going to talk about how to create balance in our lives, because we have a lot on our hands and we have a lot of questions. So let's start. The first question, Jenny, would be, how did you end up being a spiritual director at Zig Ziglar's community? How did it all start?
Well, how it all started, you know, it's like so many things in business and in life. It's all networking, and who you know, not what you know. It's important that we know what we know, but it takes connections. And few years ago, I worked with Mark Tim as the license. I was an art licensing agent, actually director for his company, and traveled around the country representing artists. I don't know if you know what an art licensing agent is, but they connect the artist with the right manufacturer, sort of like a book agent. So I worked for Mark Tim, and Mark Tim actually says that I was his spiritual director all of those years. And when he became the executive vice president of the Zig Ziglar Corporation, he and his family were actually here and began to tell me about it. And there was this aha moment, and Mark invited me to come on live every Sunday morning to speak to the Zig Ziglar community around the world, to empower and help them to tend their souls. That's sort of my, I've done many things in my life, but my core is nurture your soul and live whole. So the first thing that Mark did was he sent me to the Zig Ziglar team in Dallas, Texas. And I, with at least 20, 25 other people, went through the Zig Ziglar legacy training and got to know his son, his two sisters, actually Zig Ziglar's son and his two daughters, and his wife, he called the redhead. So I went through the training, and then I went live, and that was about 1.5 years ago. Wow. So that's how it all got started.
So connections and actually giving a lot of value, because how it started, you develop your own way and the thing that the word that you want to spread to a lot of people, and you came across this person that you worked for, and then yes, when he sensed that you give him a lot of value, he decided, listen, you have a lot to give. Let's do it in a bigger scale.
Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, I think all of us sometimes feel like we're not getting where we want to be. And I think one of the things I would say to everyone listening is be patient. If you have a big vision, which I frankly carried a big vision inside of me of wanting to empower and inspire people around the world, it seemed like a foolish vision. It seemed like, frankly, my husband and I, for years and years, have nurtured souls. My husband's a pastor. We started churches. We currently have a niche ministry, but I had this bigger vision in my heart. In fact, I went back to school. By the way, note to self, Sharon, this is for you. It's never too late. I was at that time, I'm going to say it, I was 58 years old, and I went back to school and got a master's degree. My husband said, well, why do you need that? You're already teaching people. And I said, yes, but I want to teach more people. And frankly, I didn't know how that would happen. And I couldn't have made this happen. I want everyone who's listening to know that there's a certain level that we pursue our goals, but we must also be relaxed and trust that if this vision is a God vision, then it will happen, and we can't make it. We can't force it. It will come in its time. So we just keep doing the next thing, do the next thing, follow the yellow brick road, if you will. That's what I want to encourage everyone. Just keep moving forward. So
don't give up. And actually, when you have a path and you have a way don't ever give up. And what you're saying is really important, because I know a lot of people that want to succeed in so many aspects, and they get impatient because, you know,
Yes.
they want it right then and then. And when
Yes.
it doesn't happen, they ask themselves, well, maybe I'm not in the right territory. Maybe I'm doing things not, you know. So people are actually trying to take the highway, while what you're saying is be patient, because
Yes.
what's supposed to happen will happen. Just
Yes.
keep on going the way that feels right for you.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think clarity and confidence is so important, to know what you have and to trust that if it's needed in the larger world, it will have its opportunity. So everyone, I like to say, everyone has a treasure chest within them that they don't even fully know. We were created, in my opinion, by a master designer. And there is so much. Sharon, you have so much in this treasure chest of who you are that you can't even bear it all. But if you will just let the treasures come, embrace them, and believe that there are unique parts of you that the world needs, and you just keep moving forward, the treasure chest will get wider, open more and more and more, and you will suddenly find yourself in a place that really, if you had been impatient and forced, it would have ruined the masterpiece. I'm an artist and a poet. Now, the artist part takes a lot of courage to call oneself an artist. It took me years to be able to say it. But everyone is an artist. Everyone has artistic ability. And I'm not talking just about painting. I'm talking about writing, speaking, cooking, creating your life. It takes artistic ability, frankly, to create your life. And I like to say that I like to think of life as a piece of art. It emerges slowly. And if we're impatient, it will ruin the piece of work. So I want everyone out there to know that if you will listen and trust the bigger plan. Sharon, if you don't mind, I'd like to share a simple poem that's kind of fun. It's called Thank you. It's called Yellow. It's called Yellow Chicks.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of us. I know, Sharon, you're writing a book about the emotional brain. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
I think that's so important because our emotions can get away from us. They're all over the board. Some of them are screaming for our attention, and we're ignoring them. And we need to befriend our emotions. I've talked with you a little bit about this. Our emotions are not our enemies; they're our friends, and we need to embrace them. Now, there are some challenging emotions that we don't want to have around, but the more we push them away, the less of a person we will be. Even the ones, for example, fear is an emotion, and it can block us from doing and being who God has designed us to be. But I want to encourage everyone listening to me right now to even let fear come into your face and look at it and understand it and ask it, what is it that I'm afraid of? So anyway, this poem,
regarding the fear,
yes,
it's really important what you say. I had this lecture about the impact of the emotional brain on our habits, and the habits are actually creating the way that we are in life and business, in the personal aspect. And actually, it's really intriguing because a lot of people are focusing on what they do not want. It's not something that they are, let's say, aware of, but when we are afraid of something, we give a lot of focus and power and thinking, and it affects the way that we react to things that are happening to us. And what needs to happen is actually quite the opposite. we need to come, we don't need to fight the fear. We actually need to lower ourselves and look it straight in the eye and tell it, okay, I know that you're here to protect me. I know that your intentions are well, but everything is okay. I'm in charge now. And I assure you that everything will be perfectly fine. Just let me do this, and then you and me are going to sit together and talk about what scares you. You know, and don't let it stop you. Don't let it hold you back.
I could not agree more. That's very powerful, what you just said. And I agree with you. And I picked up on what you said. If you hold it right there, fear, I will sit with you. Now, that's what I want to focus on right now, the sitting with. Okay. How do we sit with these things? So this is kind of a fun little poem called Yellow Chicks. And so here it goes. It's in solitude, I gather up all the loose ends of my soul, like yellow chicks that scurry and flurry in all directions. I gather each one and tuck them under my wings, where they must wait to be reordered according to some grand scheme that I cannot see and do not know, but works when I trust and follow it. So
that is lovely. I have to tell you, the poems, you said to me that you love to write and you love to paint, and there is an artist in you. And I know that you love Israel as well. What you just read about the Yellowstones, we need to actually collect them and see how to reorganize it in a way that will assist us develop.
Yes. The yellow chicks, they're flurrying everywhere, but they will be our friends. But we have to calm them down. I was just in Israel, as you know, with some friends who are listening right now, and we had the trip of a lifetime, actually. We were on one of those tours. We're on one of those tours. I called it a sacred pilgrimage. I consider Israel my spiritual heritage. And anyway, but we were on one of those tours where we're hurrying and scurrying everywhere, trying to see everything in 10 days. We were there during the Feast of Tabernacles. Well, the difficulty was that we all had trouble taking it in because there was so much. So what I've been doing ever since we got back, which was October the 13th, I've been reflecting back on my time in Israel and painting and writing. And by the way, I'm coming back and I'm going to spend personal time with you. So I have to share this. You've told me that
you're painting Israel. Wow. This is taking in where was it?
So this is around the Sea of Galilee. And so the only reason I share, I'm an amateur artist, but my core is the poetry. But the visual, I love to put paint down on paper or on a canvas. I think anything we can do to fortify and strengthen again, it's about discovery. All of us are every day is a discovery. It's discovering more of who we are. It's discovering more of who our loved ones are. You have I know a daughter, and I have two sons, and it's discovering more about, in my humble opinion, who God is as well. And life is really a very exciting adventure. So if we don't open ourselves up to discovery, then we will miss so much. There's so much to learn. I wake up every day really with a sense of anticipation. I have to have my 2 cups of coffee, to get the brain wide awake. But after that, I am ready to roll. And I just find life to be a great adventure. So I want, but it must begin in quiet, because if we don't begin in quiet, then everything becomes very scattershot. And we if we're not still, and if we don't learn to be still, then we won't know how to manage everything coming at us. The media, certainly in our neighborhood, in our own family, in our community. Life is so very busy, and I embrace it, but I can't effectively embrace it unless I've been still. And I want, that's what I think is so important in order to grow.
And another question I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
I know that you learned all the methods of Zig-Ziglar, and
yes.
I think you have echo. I hope.
We have what?
An echo, but no, it's okay now.
Okay.
So what I wanted to ask, what was, let's say, the number one thing that you personally received from Zig-Ziglar about the method that he teaches? What was the thing that affected you most in your personal or business life?
Good, great question. And I would have to say balance, the word balance. We're going to share with, at the end of the broadcast, we're going to share with the viewers a PDF that you will receive. It's Zig's secret formula, secret influence formula. And it's an excellent PDF. You will learn a lot.
A quick word about that.
Yes.
I'm going to say a quick thing in Hebrew and then in English, so people understand how they can receive it as possible. So if you would like to get a copy of Zig Ziglar's PDF, just write Ani Ba'esek, which I'm in business, or whatever you want to write. So write it in the comments and it's on the way to you. I'll just say it really quick in Hebrew. אם אתם רוצים לקבל את ה-PDF של זיג זיגלר לגבי מפתחות ההצלחה וכל מה שזה אומר מבחינתו, PDF מסודר שמתמצת את כל הכלים, תרשמו בתגובות אני בעסק, וה-PDF בדרך אליכם. So continue.
Excellent, excellent. And maybe this would be a good time, Sharon, to also tell people that they can receive a free PDF of my book, which is Spa Treatments for Your Body and Soul, Tranquil Moments to Refresh Your Spirit, if they subscribe to my website, which is JanieSeltzer.com. So
we'll put it on the end, just I'll rewrite it down. So everyone that wants your book, it is free for everyone that is actually with us live. So
yes. So this is a simple, oops, it's upside down. And I know you can't read it. This is not backwards, but this is the wheel of life that Zig Ziglar taught and was so influential. By the way, Zig,
can you show it a little bit?
Yes, I can show it again. You can't read it, but you can see it. And the seven, what is in this circle, this wheel, is the first spoke of the wheel. Actually, it's not necessarily the first. Zig would have put it first, I believe. It is the spiritual spoke. Hello, pay attention. That's why I'm the spiritual director, because it was very important to Zig. The second is mental. He would have put mental as second. Mental spoke, how healthy our mind is. And certainly that comes back to you, Sharon, and your deep desire to help people with their emotional brain, because our mental health is influenced by our emotions. So anyway, the mental, the physical, taking care of our bodies. If we don't get the proper rest and exercise that we need, then it influences every part of our life. And Zig, one of the things that he struggled with was his weight, but he overcame it he has a great story. He decided one day that he was going to deal with his issue, and that all he was going to do was run to the mailbox. just the mailbox. And so he took off that day and ran to the mailbox. And he said, well, that wasn't so hard. So tomorrow I'm going to run past the mailbox. So you can see where this story is going. Zig became very healthy because he realized, as all of us need to realize, it's about baby steps. It's about the willingness to just start somewhere. Begin to work on your physical body and to watch what you eat, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so that's the physical. Let me keep going. Our personal life, that's how we manage our own, if we can't, take care of our own garden, how do we expect other people to help other people, to tend others? Okay. Family, very important to Zig. His wife, who we affectionately called the redhead, is still alive and well. He loved his family with all of his heart. Then we move to career. Now, Zig Ziglar was a man who taught sales and marketing all over the world, and yet he never placed career ahead of all those other spokes. It was simply one. And interestingly enough, the last spoke he would talk about was our financial spoke, because he really believed, and I agree. The reason I'm so aligned with Zig Ziglar is because if he were alive today and we sat across the table and had coffee with one another, he and I say this humbly, could not be more in attune with one another than we are. Because if we follow if we take care of all the spokes of our wheel, the financial piece will happen. It will be an overflow. One of his, I want to mention this because Zig, one of his most famous quotes was this. His quote was, if you want to get everything that you want, you will get it by giving everyone else what they want. Now, that almost sounds
right.
Yes. Now, I've actually heard some people say, well, that's kind of self-centered a little bit, because you're going to get everything you want if you give everybody else what they want. So it's kind of an ulterior motive, like, well, I'm going to take care of you because then you're going to take care of me. But that's not the way Zig meant it at all. Mm-hmm. Zig was talking about the law of giving and receiving. If we give, we will receive back. And actually, that law of giving and receiving, guess where that comes from? That comes from the Bible. And Zig was very much a student of the Bible, because it was actually Yeshua who said those words, that he said, give and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, running over, will be placed into your lap. So actually, it's really interesting to me. A lot of motivational sayings actually have their core in the Bible. And Zig knew that. So when he used that quote, he was explaining it maybe in marketplace terms, but it really came from a spiritual place.
So the source is actually something that what's the focus of the will that you were talking about.
Yes.
Actually taking, let's say it's like breaks, which you cannot move. This come first. It's like the big rocks and then the smaller ones.
Yes.
And what you need to take care of before everything else, before your career, before your business, before everything, is actually your spiritual soul, your family, your
yes.
spouse, your children.
Yes. Yes.
When you have that in place, you are available to take care of everything else, and everything will fall into place. So
exactly.
This makes perfect sense.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly.
So I have so many questions for you, and I know time flies, but I'm going to pause a little.
Yes.
In order to let the people know that if you want to ask questions, you are more than welcome to ask Janie or me, whatever it is that you want to know. I'll say it shortly in Hebrew. אם אתם רוצים לשאול אותנו שאלות, זה זמן מעולה להעלות את השאלות שלכם, אנחנו רואים את התגובות, אז אתם מוזמנים בהחלט. While they're doing it, another reminder that if you want to receive the PDF of זיגלר, אם אתם רוצים לקבל את ה-PDF של זיגלר, פשוט תרשמו אני בעסק וזה בדרך אליכם. PDF שבעצם מרכז את הגלגל של ההצלחה, סודות ההצלחה של זיגלר, ואנחנו נשתף את זה יחד איתכם. I can see a neat, perfect sense. Thank you so much. Nora is with us. She's saying she wants to receive it. Anita is there and Debbie. Great to see everyone. So we will continue while people are with us and they know that they can ask questions live, which is great. What would be, let's say, the most important tips, because we understood that in order to succeed, we need to take care of the building for its, the source, the soil. And what would be the number one tip that you got from that you have from your own life experience in order to create the balance in the best way possible? Because we have so much things on our hands. We have the career and we have the community and we have a lot of things on our mind. Where do we start and what would be the best way to do it?
So I've already alluded to it, and I think I just have to keep emphasizing over and over that if, mindfulness and centeredness, which is key, because I can't possibly, often, I'll just say this, often I say, this is way too big for me. Life is too big. There's too many things. There are too many needs. There's too many people that, frankly, I speak on Sunday mornings to between 30 and 40,000 people every Sunday morning with many, many needs. I can't possibly meet all of their needs. I can't possibly know them personally. What can I do? What can I do? So that's where I begin, right there. That is the answer. The answer is ask yourself not what must I do, but literally what can I do? And just do that. Perhaps I can't touch everyone, but I can go back into the comments. And if there's someone who's hurting, I can write a personal note to that person. I can't respond to everyone, but I can take the next 30 minutes and respond to as many as possible. It's what can I do? And then trust that that is enough, because I am not depending on just Janie to minister to these people. I'm asking the Spirit of God, who is bigger than me, to do the real ministry. So I'm very aware of my human limitations, and I honor that, and I don't. Make sure that if I don't take care of me, then no one gets taken care of. So if I'm exhausted, then I need to rest. I might need a massage. I might need to take a walk. I might need to pick up a paintbrush. If I'm empty, then I'm not going to move forward. I'm going to take care of my own emptiness and find my joy. And that would be very important for everyone. Find your joy and follow the joy, because that joy is the source of the power, and that joy is what will propel you forward. So try not to do the shoulds. Find the joy and do what you desire to do, because that will bless someone else.
What you're saying is actually so important, because in the Judaism there is a sentence, a very powerful one, that the greatest mitzvah, which is the good deed, is be happy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and so it is all connecting in a way that what you're saying is actually take care of yourself first. When we're on an airplane and we're flying from one spot to another spot in the world. So when we're sitting down in our chairs and we're hearing what the attendant is saying to us, is actually when something happens, God forbid, just make sure that you put the oxygen on yourself first. Even if you have kids, put it on yourself first, because if you don't take care of you, you cannot help any other the other people that are next to you. So this is really true for life as well. And I know a lot of people that are really eager on helping so many others. And if we're talking about family-wise, we can see a lot of mothers, fathers, or whatever, or whomever we meet, that they are so into taking care of their kids' needs, and they're not aware of their own, and then they're fatigued and
irritable.
Yeah, so it's not a good way to go. You need to stop for a minute. It's really important to take care of your family, of your kids, of your spouse, of everyone that is around you. But in order to do it in the best way for a long time, for a long period of time, please take care of you.
Yes. Life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And we need to, hydrate and, and practice. I just talked about that on Sunday. Practice. Find a healthy routine where you are performing at your maximum. Everyone has their own body clock that they need to honor. I'm an early to bed and early to riser, and that's my body clock, and I'm at my best when I honor it, because in the morning I can get so much done. Everyone has their rhythm, and you need to find your rhythm and stay in it as best as you can. Of course, life happens, and we all get interrupted. There's things out of our control, but what you can control and what you have, everyone has options. Am I going to stay up and watch that movie? And it may be a great movie, but if I stay up and watch it, I still have to get up early. Am I going to be exhausted? Is it worth it? Check priorities. Well, and we can't do it all. So we need to be mindful. There it comes right back to that word again, mindfulness, priorities. These are basics, but we need to be reminded. We forget.
We do forget, because things are so hectic nowadays, especially, we have so much in our hands.
Yes.
So, wow. I know that you and me, we can go on for hours and hours and hours and we will not feel any sense of time flying by. But I'm just going to say, what would be the most, if Zig was with us, you said that if he sat across you, I know that Zigler gave a lot of, he had this cassettes and discs and a lot of, amazing tips for success. And he was talking a lot about how to sell more, how to connect with people. Can you give us another tip that for the people that are with us live can actually get up tomorrow morning and start their day a little bit different that they started it before? And what would be the main thing that you would think that will create better results in their daily routine, their daily life?
Well, let me address. How about this? I think this would be very helpful to our listening audience. In goal setting, for example, let me just take a few minutes and share with you how Zig Ziglar would encourage you to set goals. Number one, you obviously need to identify your goal. Identify, again, comes back to think. What is your goal? Okay. Number two, what are the benefits that I'm going to receive if I reach this goal? That's number two. Number three, what are the major obstacles and mountains that I'm going to have to climb to reach this goal? Important. Number four, what skills or knowledge do I need to have in order to reach the goal? Very important. Some people, have great big dreams and great big goals, but they really don't have the knowledge base or the skill base. So go get those skills that you need. Number five, what individuals, groups, companies, and organizations can I work with in order to reach this goal? Very important. Networking.
Yeah. Who needs it the most?
Yes. Number 6, what plan? Here we go. What plan of action do I need to take to reach this goal? And by the way, I'm a goal setter. I have been all of my life. I didn't, that's another way that I really resonate with Zig I rarely go through a day without having a piece of paper. I have one right here beside me right now that was where I have goals for this day written down. Zig would emphasize that every motivational, inspirational speaker say you must write down what you want to accomplish, because by writing it down, you're solidifying it in your brain that this is important. So every day I write goals for that day. I also will write goals for the whole month of December. I mean, we're facing the holidays and so many things, overwhelming. So what I did just yesterday is I said, okay, what are the goals I need to meet for the month of December? When January comes around, I'll sit down quietly and I'll give myself time to set goals for the whole year. Yeah, I don't even know if my friends know that I do this. If you're listening, my friends, I do. I've always set goals. It's very important. Because if we don't know where we're going, any old place will do.
Get there. Yeah,
exactly. So I think it's actually a good time as we're looking into this last month of the year and facing another year coming around that we begin to really take seriously setting goals. Because all of us need to accomplish things. If it's cleaning out the garage or if it's starting a business. I started a business. I started a wholesale gift company in 1997, and I had tremendous work ahead of me. I didn't even know what I was doing, but I set goals. I found the people that I needed to know to figure out how to start a business. I had no business training at all, and I just kept learning from people, reaching out, finding what I needed to know, and learning it. And so I'm a spiritual director, but frankly, I've done a lot of other things in my life. Yes, very practical.
This is what I love about you so much, because you have this spirituality in you, but then you're down to earth. You're really practical. You know how to take that into, small steps and make it happen. Actually, we have a question.
Okay.
You said, by the way, I really love it, because you have to know your obstacles, you have to know what you're gifted, you have to know who you're turning to in order to give them value. What are their needs, and can you give value to them?
Yes.
So we have Nora here that is asking, how do you identify, let's say, the emptiness within in the first steps before it gets to something that is more severe, that can affect our health, for example?
How do you identify? I think that's
identify. Yeah, something started, but before it gets here.
Well, I think that's an excellent question, Nora. And I think I think what I hear in your question is that you identify that there is a spark that you need in your soul. I want to just read something, because there may be a lot of people asking that or thinking that or feeling that. Feelings, there they are, feeling that. There's an excellent quote that I want to read and see if you can identify. Soul loss can be observed today as a psychological phenomenon in the everyday lives of human beings around us. Loss of soul appears in the form of a sudden onset of apathy and listlessness. The joy has gone out of life. Initiative is crippled. One feels empty and everything feels pointless. That is the definition right there, the best one I've ever come across. That was said by Marie-Louise von Franz years ago. I think she really nailed it. And I encounter it all the time with people that I deal with and try to help. I think the answer is not a simple one. I think the first step is to say, okay, I have apathy and listlessness in my life, and I don't like it. I want to have energy. I want to have a spark. So you start right there, Nora. You say, that's me. Or maybe it's not you. I'm not saying it's you. I'm just saying identify what you feel. If you don't first identify it, then you can't find answers, right, Nora? So you identify, are you depressed? Are you anxious? Are you afraid? And then you begin to, frankly, you begin to be honest with yourself. You begin to be honest and call out to God. I can't help but say this. Zig-Ziglar would say this. There is help beyond yourself if you reach out. And so there are many more things I could say about that. I don't want to move into too much soul care right now, except that, Nora, if you would like personal help with that, I Skype with people. I can Skype with you. I offer personal help as a soul care coach. So if I can be of help to you, just indicate it, and I will definitely respond.
So if it's okay with you, I'll really repeat short in Hebrew. So,
okay, very good.
נורה, יקירתי, על שאלתך לגבי איך לזהות את הריקנות שבפנים בשלבי הראשונים לפני שזה מתקדם, אז מה שאומרת ג'ני זה בעצם לראות ולהיות קשובה לעצמך ולנסות לראות מה הדבר שאת הכי זקוקה לו כרגע, ומשם באמת להתחיל ולתת את המענה. יכול להיות שזה פאוזה, יכול להיות שזה משהו שהוא אחר או עמוק יותר, אבל באמת להיות בקשב פנימי לצרכים שלך, ולראות איך את יכולה לתת את המענה באופן האופטימלי והטוב ביותר עבורך, מה את זקוקה כדי למלא את המקום הזה, וכל הזמן להיות בקשב לדבר הזה. תודה נורה על השאלה. We have another question from Debbie, and Debbie is asking, how long do you wait before you move on if you are not making progress on your vision, which is an excellent question.
Good question, Debbie Ashton. And I think that the answer to that is impossible for me to give, because I have had to wait years sometimes for okay, so Debbie Ashton, I'm going to tell you what I had to learn, which was this simple prayer. God, close every door around me but the right one, and help me to accept the closed doors, because there's going to be a door down the hallway that will open, and when it opens, I will enter. But in the meantime, help me to accept where I am and keep doing the next thing. I can't say for anyone how long it will be. For some, it might be very fast. For others, it may be very long. I think it all depends upon what you're being formed to do. Everyone has a purpose, everyone. And we're all being formed for that purpose. We can't determine how long until we're ready or cooked, but we must continue on. Okay?
Amazing. So I'm going to do a little quick, because I think it's a very excellent question. Thank you, Debbie, for your question, because I think it can give a lot of value to our viewers. So I'm going to do a fast translation for that one. מתי אנחנו יודעים לפני שאנחנו, דבי שואלת, מתי אנחנו יודעים לפני שאנחנו מבטרים, או עד כמה אנחנו ממשיכים בדרך מסוימת אם אנחנו רואים שאנחנו לא מתקדמים, לגבי מטרה מסוימת, לגבי חזון מסוים, אז כמה זמן אנחנו בעצם נותנים כדי להמשיך באותו הכיוון. ומה שהיא אומרת הוא פשוט מקסים בעיניי, בעצם סוג של התכווננות, בבקשה, מה שנקרא, בין אם זה באינטואיציה, בין אם אתם מבינים, זה יכול לאלוהים, בתפילה, בהתכווננות, לסגור את כל הדלתות האחרות, פרט לדלת האחת, שהיא הדלת הרלוונטית והנכונה, כדי להמשיך ללכת בה. זאת אומרת, לבקש את התשובה, ולהיות במקום שהוא עם הרבה מאוד אמונה ואינטואיציה, ולסמוך על עצמכם, ולהגיע למצב שבאמת לקבל הכוונה מלמעלה, ברמה של להמשיך ללכת בדרך הנכונה עבורכם. Nora is thanking us for our question. Thank you so much, Debbie. We're actually, before we know it, you know, it has been almost an hour since we've started, and I know, as I said, we can go on, but I wanted to keep a reminder. We're having a lot of things to give the people that have joined us at this broadcast, presents from you and from me. And I'm going to share it really quickly again, so the people that joined just recently can get it as well. למי שרוצה לקבל PDF של זיגלר לגבי גל של 7 סודות ההצלחה בחיים, ובאמת לקבל את זה ישירות אליכם, תרשמו אני בעסק, אנחנו נדאג לשלוח את זה מיידית. כמו כן, ספרון שלי על הקשר בין הצלחה בעסקים, הקשר בין הצלחה בעסקים למוח הרגשי, אז גם זה הולך להישלח אליכם, פשוט תרשמו אני בעסק, תוכלו לקבל PDF של זיגלר ואת הספרון שלי. I just said really quickly what they're going to receive. If you're talking in English, you can receive Ziglar's PDF and a booklet of mine for the emotional brain and the effect it has on business. And Janie actually offered the Ziglar's, you call it the wheel of success, right?
No, it's called the secret influence to become a secret. It's a formula to become an influencer.
Wow, a secret. So I'm going to correct it in Hebrew really fast. Yes. זה סודות ההשפעה. איך בעצם להגיע למצב שאנחנו מצליחים להגיע ולהעביר את המסר שלנו בצורה הכי נהירה וברורה לצד השני. מדהים. אז thank you so much. I know that you wanted to share your website because you have your book that you're going to share with everyone that join us on this live. Besides from the PDF of Ziglar and the booklet that I have your book, and which is, thank you so much for giving the people here. It's great. So I'm going to type right here. Can you say your website? How do you write it down?
Yes, yeah. It's www, of course, JanieSeltzer.com, JanieSeltzer. Like Alka-Seltzer.
Yes. Okay, I hope I got it good. Just a second. Janie Seltzer. Okay. So here we have it. No, I have, it's a J.
Yes.
The beginning. It's a J. So JanieSeltzer.com. You can actually connect to the website and get Janie's book for free. אתם יכולים לקבל את הספר בחינם של ג'ני, ישירות אליכם, היא הציעה את זה. מעבר לזה, אני בעסק אזכה אתכם ב-PDF של זיגלר וספרון שלי. וואו. Janie, thank you so much for your time and being with us live. I know that you're doing a lot of great things and being the spiritual director of Ziglar's community, and you have a live broadcast on a weekly basis. Thank you so much for being with us tonight and sharing this great value tonight.
Thank you, Sharon. It's been an honor and a privilege to be with you. It really has. You're delightful, and I look forward to getting to know you better.
Yeah, so, me too. Likewise. Thank you so much. תודה רבה לכם, ושיהיה לילה טוב. אנחנו נתראה בהמשך. ביי.
ביי ביי.